Welcome to my channel. Value Old Coins Today videos is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins, so let's get it started. The 1978 United States Lincoln cent, known commonly and affectionately as the penny, represents one of the most enduring and historically significant denominations in the long narrative of American coinage. Though its face value is modest, the 1-cent coin carries an oversized role in numismatic history, both for its symbolism and for its status as one of the most widely produced coins in human history. The 1978 Lincoln cent falls within a long lineage that dates back to 1909, when the U.S. Mint first introduced the Lincoln portrait to replace the Indian head cent. This change marked a historic moment as it became the first regular issue U.S. coin to bear the likeness of an actual historical figure, in this case, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and a leader synonymous with unity, emancipation, and sacrifice during one of the nation's darkest periods, the American Civil War. The obverse front of the 1978 Lincoln cent retains the famous profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-born engraver and medalist. Brenner's portrait captures Lincoln in a contemplative, right-facing pose, distinguished by his high cheekbones, deeply set eyes, and signature beard, which has long served as a visual hallmark of the president's stately image. Above Lincoln's head arcs the national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase deeply embedded in American currency since the 1860s and officially adopted for all U.S. coins and currency in the 20th century. To Lincoln's left appears the inscription Liberty, reflecting one of the foundational principles of the American Republic. The date of issue, 1978, is placed to the right of Lincoln's bust, while below the date sits the mint mark, either a small D if minted in Denver, an S if minted in San Francisco for proof coinage, or no mint mark at all if struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The clarity and sharpness of these inscriptions, along with the delicate detailing of Lincoln's profile, are key indicators of a coin's grade and preservation condition in numismatic terms. Turning to the reverse backside of the 1978 Lincoln cent, one finds the well-known Lincoln Memorial design, which replaced the original wheat ears reverse in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Created by Frank Gasparo, who later served as the chief engraver of the United States Mint, this design presents a faithful depiction of the neoclassical Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This structure, composed of a prominent colonnade of 36 Doric columns representing the states of the Union at the time of Lincoln's death in 1865, serves both as a national shrine and a symbol of democratic resilience. Gasparo's design captures the building's frontal aspect with remarkable detail, including its pediment, stairs, and stylized base. A fascinating and subtle feature of this reverse is the tiny, almost imperceptible figure of Lincoln seated within the memorial, visible between the central columns when viewed under magnification. This makes the Lincoln cent unique in U.S. numismatics, as it effectively features the image of the same historical figure on both obverse and reverse. Encircling the top of the reverse is the inscription United States of America, boldly declaring the nation of issue. Beneath that appears the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, a motto that reflects the nation's formation from disparate colonies into a unified republic. Along the lower edge of the reverse lies the coin's denomination, 1 cent, clearly delineating its face value. The simplicity of the layout is complemented by the intricate architectural lines of the memorial, creating a balanced aesthetic that numismatists and casual collectors alike have appreciated for decades. In terms of physical composition, the 1978 Lincoln cent belongs to the final era of predominantly copper-based cents before the United States Mint transitioned to a cheaper, zinc-based composition in 1982, due to rising copper prices. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. Its diameter measures 19.05 millimeters, 0.75 inches, with a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. The edge of the coin remains plain, lacking any reading or edge inscriptions. The material and weight of the pre-1982 cents have long made them favorites among collectors and bullion enthusiasts, as the copper content in each coin is worth more than its nominal face value, although it remains illegal to melt down cents for their metal content under U.S. law. The mintage statistics for the 1978 Lincoln cent reflect the coin's ubiquity in everyday commerce during the latter half of the 20th century. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 5,558,605,000 cents without a mint mark. The Denver Mint produced about 4,280,233,400 coins bearing the D mint mark. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint minted 3,127,781 proof coins, designed specifically for collectors with specially polished dies and planchets to create mirror-like fields and frosted devices. These proof specimens, distinguished by their sharp details and brilliant finish, were distributed primarily through the annual U.S. Mint proof sets. From a historical standpoint, the 1978 Lincoln cent represents a period of relative economic stability preceding the inflationary struggles of the early 1980s. Cents minted during this era retained significant purchasing power, unlike their modern counterparts whose utility in day-to-day transactions has diminished considerably. Despite its small denomination, the cent remained a crucial part of American commerce. School savings programs, charity drives, and cultural expressions such as the iconic penny loafers and sayings like "a penny saved is a penny earned." The Lincoln cent's enduring popularity can also be attributed to its status as an introductory coin for young collectors. Often the first coin placed into a blue Whitman folder or passed down from a parent or grandparent. In the numismatic market, the 1978 Lincoln cent is considered a common date due to its vast production figures and widespread circulation. Most examples found today show moderate to heavy wear from years of use, with details of Lincoln's hair, cheekbones, and jawline often softened by handling. However, pristine uncirculated examples, particularly those grading MS-65 Red Road or higher, command modest premiums among collectors. Coins with full original red coloration, free from spotting, fingerprints, or blemishes, are especially desirable. Proof specimens from San Francisco hold higher numismatic value, especially those with deep cameo contrast between the frosted devices and mirrored fields. Collectors also seek out die varieties and errors associated with the 1978 Lincoln cent, although major varieties for this year are relatively scarce. Some enthusiasts pursue minor die breaks, off-center strikes, and double strikes, which can fetch higher values depending on severity and eye appeal. A few subtle doubled die varieties and repunched mint marks (RPM) have been cataloged, though they require magnification to detect and often hold niche interest within the hobby. The 1978 Lincoln cent also holds cultural significance as part of the American landscape during a dynamic decade characterized by shifting politics, economic challenges, and technological innovation. It circulated during the presidency of Jimmy Carter, a period marked by international diplomacy efforts, energy crises, and increasing globalization. The coin was handled by millions of Americans making phone calls from payphones, purchasing candy bars, newspapers, and other everyday items, marking its silent presence in the ordinary yet historically rich fabric of American life. In summary, the 1978 United States Lincoln cent stands as a humble yet fascinating artifact of American numismatics, carrying with it over a century of tradition through its design, symbolism, and ubiquity. While individually modest in monetary value, collectively, these coins represent a legacy of history, craftsmanship, and everyday commerce. For collectors, they offer a tangible connection to the past, an accessible entry point into the world of coin collecting, and a testament to the enduring appeal of Abraham Lincoln's image and ideals on America's currency. The 1993 United States Lincoln cent, commonly referred to as a penny, holds a significant place within the long and storied history of American coinage. Issued by the United States Mint, this modest 1-cent coin represents not only a denomination, but also a century-spanning tribute to one of America's most revered leaders, President Abraham Lincoln. The obverse front of the coin bears the enduring image of Lincoln's bust, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth in 1809. The Lincoln cent became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Brenner's iconic portrait has stood the test of time, enduring over a century of circulation and minor design modifications. By 1993, the obverse featured the familiar right-facing bust of Lincoln, with sharply defined features, including his distinct beard, high cheekbones, and solemn expression, symbolizing the enduring values of liberty, unity, and sacrifice. Along the upper periphery of the obverse runs the inscription, "In God We Trust," a national motto officially adopted in the 1950s, but included on U.S. coinage as early as the 1860s. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word liberty, signifying the nation's foundational ideal, while to the right appears the date 1993, indicating the year of mint. Beneath the date may appear a mint mark, either a small D for Denver or none at all if minted in Philadelphia, as Philadelphia cents in this period bore no mint mark. The reverse back of the 1993 Lincoln cent continued the design known as the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, which had been introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the previous wheat ears reverse design that had adorned the cent since 1909. The Lincoln Memorial design was created by Frank Gasparo, who would later become chief engraver of the United States Mint. This reverse design portrays a finely detailed rendition of the neoclassical, Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with its imposing colonnade of 36 Doric columns, symbolizing the number of states in the Union at the time of Lincoln's death in 1865. The intricate detailing of the structure's facade steps and pediment demonstrates the mint's commitment to artistry even on small denomination coinage. Notably, if one examines the reverse carefully with magnification, a tiny representation of Lincoln seated within the memorial is visible between the center columns, making the Lincoln cent one of the few coins to feature a president on both sides of the same coin. Along the upper rim of the reverse is inscribed United States of America, denoting the issuing nation. Below that lies the motto E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, reflecting the unity formed from the original colonies. At the bottom center of the reverse appears the denomination 1 cent, framed by the memorial's base, reaffirming the coin's value. In terms of its physical specifications, the 1993 Lincoln cent retained the composition that had been introduced in 1982, when the United States Mint transitioned from predominantly copper planchettes to a more cost-effective copper-plated zinc core. This newer composition features a core of 99.2% zinc with an outer layer of 0.8% copper, giving the appearance of a traditional copper coin while reducing production costs. The total weight of the coin is approximately 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, 0.75 inches, and a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, 0.0598 inches. The coin possesses a plain edge, without any reading or inscription. This change in metal content was largely driven by economic factors in the early 1980s, when the market price of copper threatened to exceed the face value of the cent itself. The minting figures for the 1993 Lincoln cent reflect the coin's widespread production for general circulation. The Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, produced an estimated 5,684,705,000 cents, while the Denver Mint, with D mint mark, struck approximately 6,426,650,571 pieces. These vast numbers underscore the cent's importance as a fundamental component of everyday commerce in the United States during this period. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint produced a limited number of proof coins, specifically 3,394,792 proof cents, struck with polished dies on specially prepared planchettes, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted devices intended for collectors rather than circulation. From a historical and cultural standpoint, the 1993 Lincoln cent exists within a transitional era for American currency. By the early 1990s, debates regarding the potential elimination of the cent were already surfacing due to inflationary pressures diminishing the coin's practical purchasing power. Yet the Lincoln cent, steeped in tradition and widely familiar, remained a cherished fixture in American pockets, cash registers, and coin collections. The Lincoln Memorial reverse, itself a mid-20th century creation, continued to serve as a symbol not just of a statesman's legacy, but of the nation's ongoing reverence for democratic ideals and unity. It would remain on the reverse until 2008, when it was replaced by a series of special reverses in 2009 commemorating the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, followed by a permanent new reverse design introduced in 2010. For new and collectors, the 1993 Lincoln cent presents several points of interest. Although most examples in circulated condition hold only face value due to the enormous mintage and ready availability. However, pristine examples, particularly mint state MS coins graded MS67 or higher by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can command a premium, especially if exhibiting full original red road coloration with no spots, blemishes, or signs of wear. Proof examples from the San Francisco Mint are particularly valued for their sharp strikes and contrast between mirrored fields and frosted devices. Additionally, collectors remain vigilant for minor die varieties, including double dies, repunched, mint marks, RPM, or die cracks, though no major varieties have been officially cataloged for the 1993 issue. In terms of its broader legacy, the 1993 Lincoln cent serves as a representative artifact of late 20th century American life, economics, and numismatics. It stands as a testament to the enduring appeal of Abraham Lincoln's image in the national consciousness, the aesthetic contributions of artists like Brenner and Gasparo, and the evolving economic imperatives that shape even the smallest units of a nation's currency. For those who handle one today, whether found in change, tucked in an old coin jar, or preserved in a collection, the 1993 cent connects its holder to a tradition of American history, memory, and monetary practice stretching back well over a century.